Welcome to all of you. In this lecture, we are going to study fiber bend losses and dispersion. Let us start with the fiber bend losses. Optical fibers cannot be laid in a straight line. Due to the geographical conditions and some other conditions, there will be certain bends and the curves. The losses which occur due to those bends and curves are known as the fiber bend losses. In this case, the loss is going to happen in the form of the radiation. Let us go through the sentence. This is due to the energy in evanescent field at the bend exceeding the velocity of light in the cladding, and hence the guidance mechanism is inhibited, which causes light energy to be radiated from the fiber. Let us have a clear understanding of this sentence with this diagram. So here we can observe an optical fiber with a bend. Now when the light signal is traveling within this fiber and when it encounters the bend, a part of that light signal will enter into the cladding. And in this cladding, that light energy has to travel with a velocity greater than that of the light in order to maintain the plane wavefront. And practically this is not possible. Therefore, that light energy will be dissipated in the form of radiation, hence contributing to the loss. Now, the loss is generally represented in terms of the radiation attenuation coefficient given by alpha r is equal to C1 exponential of minus C2 into r, where this r is the radius of the curvature. C1 and C2 are the constants which are independent of R. Now, in case of multimode fibers, the bending loss at critical radius of curvature RC is given by, that is the critical radius of curvature is given by RC is approximately equal to 3n1 square lambda divided by 4 pi of n1 square minus n2 square whole to the power of 3 by 2. This is applicable only with respect to the multimode fibers. Now let us consider the same expression of RC. So it was mentioned as equation 2. Now referring to that equation 2, we can identify certain parameters which can reduce this macro bending losses. So those parameters involves designing fiber with large refractive index difference. So that means the core cladding refractive index difference must be very high. So this core cladding difference value present in the denominator part of this expression. If this value will keep increasing, then denominator value will increase and overall the RC value is going to decrease. The same concept is also applicable for the lambda. So that is operating at the short wavelengths. Now getting into the single mode fiber. With respect to single mode fiber, the critical radius of curvature is given by RCS is approximately equal to 20 lambda divided by n1 minus n2 to the power of 1 by 2 into 2.748 minus 0.996 lambda divided by lambda c to the power of minus 3, where lambda c is the cutoff wavelength for single mode fiber. Let us go through a problem related to it. The problem statement: two step index fibers exhibit the following parameters. First one, a multimode fiber with a core refractive index of 1.50, a relative refractive index difference of 3% and operating wavelength of 0.82 micrometer. The second one, an 8 micrometer core diameter single mode fiber which a core refractive index same as a relative refractive index difference of 0.3% and an operating wavelength of 1.55 micrometer. Estimate the critical radius of curvature at which large bending loss occur in both cases. Coming to the solution, let us note down the parameters. Parameters with respect to A, first set, and with respect to B, another set we are going to note down. So with respect to A, let us note down the core refractive index N1 is equal to 1.5, relative refractive index difference delta is equal to 3%, then operating wavelength lambda is equal to 0.82 micrometer. So these parameters are with respect to this question A. Continuing with the question B, the parameters, the core diameter D is equal to 8 micrometer, relative refractive index difference delta is equal to 0.3%, then operating wavelength lambda is equal to 1.55 micrometer. With respect to this, the refractive index is same as that as A. Therefore, for second sub question also, the N1 remains 1.5 as it is. Now let us start from the multimode fiber. So the refractive index difference is given by delta is equal to N1 square minus N2 square divided by 2 N1 square. Among this, we know the value of N1 and we know the delta, we can calculate N2 square. So rearranging this expression for N2 square, we get N2 square is equal to N1 square minus 2 delta N1 square. So we know all these parameters. Make the substitution. We are going to get N2 square is equal to 2.115. Now for multimode fiber, the critical radius of curvature is given by RC approximated to 3N1 square lambda divided by 4 pi of N1 square minus N2 square whole to the power of 3 by 2. Now we know all the parameters of the right hand side. Now make the substitution of all of them. So after substitution and solving, we get value equal to 8.8798 micrometer, which will be approximately equal to 9 micrometer. Now coming to the sub question B, that is for single mode fiber. So for the single mode fiber, so the refractive index difference is given by delta is equal to N1 square minus N2 square divided by 2N1 square. Same formula. Again, we need to calculate the parameter N2 square. Therefore, modifying this expression for N2 square, we are going to get this representation. We know N1 as well as the delta. Make the substitution. We get the value 2.237. Now we need to calculate one more parameter, that is the cutoff frequency. So cutoff wavelength, not the frequency, cutoff wavelength. So cutoff wavelength for single mode fiber is given by this formula. Lambda C is equal to 2 pi A N1 into 2 delta to the power of 1 by 2 divided by 2.405. Now we know all the parameters values over here. So make the substitution. After solving, we get 1.214 micrometer. Now finally calculating the critical radius of curvature for single mode fiber is RCS is approximately equal to 20 lambda divided by N1 minus N2 to the power of 1 by 2, 2.748 minus 0.996 lambda divided by lambda C whole to the power of minus 3. Now all the values on the right hand side are known parameters now. So make the substitution of all of them and we are going to get the answer as 34 millimeter. Now getting to the dispersion. So basically dispersion stands for widening of the optical signal is what is dispersion. Now getting into these words. Dispersion causes a signal distortion along the optical fibers. So that's the distortion. So we are going to discuss next. Dispersion mechanisms within the fiber causes broadening of the transmitted light pulses as they travel along the channel. Let us have more details about these facts. Now let us consider these three representations. So the figure A. So this figure A is going to indicate the light pulses being transmitted through the optical fiber. So the bits 1 is represented by this one, then 0, then 1, 1. So 1, 0, 1, 1 is being transmitted through an optical fiber. Then this signal, after traveling through the fiber for a certain distance, let us take the distance is equal to L1. This is what has happened. So that means each of these pulses has got broadened. And here at least we can identify the value 1, then value 0 and 1, 1 they have got already overlapped on each other. Same again if we allow it to travel through the optical fiber so for certain more distance, and let us assume that distance is equal to L2, then after that distance L2, this is what the signal looks like. So the first signal has completely overlapped on the second signal. So 0 is not at all present over there. And then the two more bits 1 and 1, they are overlapped more than 50% on each other. So that means the bits that were sent, they are not now distinguishable. They are totally indistinguishable. Especially in this case, it is totally indistinguishable. Now the regions where the signals are overlapping on each other, so it is known as the inter-symbol interference. Now this increased inter-symbol interference increases the bit error rate. So bit error rate in the sense we are not able to categorize which is 1, which is 0 and overlapping of the two values, successive values. So that is going to cause the bit error rate. That is going to cause the bit error. Increased value of that is the rate, bit error rate. Now this increased bit error rate will contribute to the signal to noise ratio at the receiver side. It is going to reduce the signal to noise ratio. That means increased value of the noise will decrease the overall SNR value, and decreased value of SNR is going to have the function of attenuation. That means overall signal value decreased, overall noise value has increased. Therefore, SNR, signal to noise ratio, has got decreased, and this decreased SNR value is going to be a function of the attenuation at the receiver side. Now, what is the solution to overcome this overlapping of these light pulses? So, if we maintain the bit rate within certain range, we can avoid those overlapping of the light pulses. And that bit rate is called the digital bit rate. Now, what must be the value of the digital bit rate to avoid overlapping of the light pulses? That is, the digital bit rate must be less than the reciprocal of the broadened pulse duration, that is given by 2 tau. So that means Bt must be less than or equal to 1 divided by 2 tau. Then we can avoid the overlapping of the light pulses in the optical fiber. So consider this as the equation 4, and this equation 4 gives the conservative estimate of the maximum bit rate. Now coming to the another estimate which is going to be done at the output side by considering the Gaussian shape of the RMS width, that is the sigma. And this maximum bit rate with respect to this is given by Bt maximum is approximately equal to 0.2 divided by sigma bits per second. Now let us consider three most commonly used optical fibers, that is multimode step index fiber, then multimode graded index fiber, then single mode step index fiber. And let us go through how dispersion is going to vary in these three different types of fibers. And this is for the input signal and this is for the corresponding output signal. Now here we can observe from the output pulse that the multimode step index fiber output is going to be most distorted with more broadening. Then graded index is little bit better and single mode is much better than all of the above. Therefore, it can be said, therefore, in case of single mode step index fiber, the frequencies will be used in terms of gigahertz, whereas in these two, it will be limited only to tens of megahertz. Now getting to a problem related to it. The problem statement. A multimode graded index fiber exhibits total pulse broadening of 0.1 microsecond over a distance of 15 km. Estimate. First one, the maximum possible bandwidth on the link assuming no inter-symbol interference. B, the pulse dispersion per unit length. Then C, the bandwidth length product for the fiber. So let us note down the given parameters. So total dispersion is given, that is 0.1 microsecond, and total length is given, that is a 15 km. Now let us calculate one after the another. So first one, the maximum possible optical bandwidth. So that is given by the BT, that is equal to 1 divided by 2 tau. So tau value is 0.1 microsecond, that is the total dispersion. So make a substitution of that, we are going to get the value 5 megahertz. The second one, we need to calculate the pulse dispersion per unit length. So the dispersion is given by total dispersion divided by total length is going to give us the pulse dispersion per unit length. So dispersion value is known, that is 0.1 microsecond. Total length is known, that is 15 km. So make a substitution. So we are going to get the answer 6.67 nanosecond per kilometer. The last one, so the bandwidth length product we need to identify. So it can be identified by two methods. So first method, B optimal into L. So it has already been calculated 5 megahertz. Substitute the value. Total length is known, that is equal to 15 kilometer. Therefore 75 megahertz kilometer we are going to have. The another way in which we can calculate is, so B opt into L is equal to 1 divided by 2 tau. Make the substitution of this one. So tau in this particular case will become per unit length calculation. So that is the dispersion in this case is equal to 6.67. So that one we are going to make the substitution. So we are going to get the answer as 75 megahertz kilometer in this also. So both of these two are going to give us the same result and we can opt any one of these for calculation purpose. Thanks for joining.